And we are back with another episode of #That's on Womanhood. Tazaya, leading player, Ayanda MVP. And with me, the ever so amazing Nia Breezy.
Nia Breezy! Someone was asking me the other day, does everyone call you Nia Breezy? And I said, yeah. I think it's just like a name that came around.
But also, you're such a breeze.
Really?
You're refreshing in everything that you do. And today, we're going to be talking about community. And I think it's a big one for us because a lot of the times we feel like it takes time to find the right community that you belong to. And this is like, I call it like wolf packs.
Yeah.
As women, we also move in packs.
Yeah. Similar
to what guys do, but with women, we actually take a longer time in forming those packs. You know, movies like Soul Food, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, Girlfriends, the sitcom. Watching them at a younger age, I didn't really understand why there were so many women in one place and what the situation was. But as you grow older, you realize that there's so many people that play a different role in your life that form a community around you. And that's why I love that we have community now, or we're more confident in getting into a community or involving ourselves in one, because no man is an island. 100%. Or should I say no woman is an island.
Is it important for you to have that community backing you? Do you feel like you need a group of women who are behind you?
I always feel like it is necessary, because when you achieve something, you don't want to just celebrate it on your own.
Exactly.
Because there are so many people that helped you get to where you were. Even if it was that one friend that dropped you off at that audition that you never thought you were going to get, you got the call back. So for me, that's a very, very big thing. And I think when it comes to community within womanhood, it means us having each other's backs constantly. We have a community of womanhood in our own strengths at work, on radio. And now it's more also defining the womanhood, or the community rather, of womanhood in the industry, which I think is very wishy-washy at the moment.
100%. Absolutely. Yeah, very much so. It is wishy-washy. I mean, I'm at a point career-wise where I don't know which woman I can approach and which woman I cannot. That is such a difficult thing, Ayanda, because you might look up to someone and then you see them at an event, but you don't know, can I go say hi and say, my goodness, I love this, that, and the other? You don't know how they're going to react. And it takes one bad experience to keep you from doing that with other women who might react differently to, that kind of, greeting or conversation. So that's the thing that I have difficulty with. I'm also the kind of person who never knows whether people remember me. I mean, we interview a lot of women on our shows, and I never know if people will remember that I'm Nia Brown that interviewed them on Y. One beautiful moment that I'll never forget this was Nomuzi. I interviewed Nomuzi many, many years ago. She had come to the show, interviewed her, and then I saw her at Deleuze's all-white party. And as she was walking past, she was like, "Is that Nia Brown?" And I was like, "Yes, it is. It's me. Hi, Lucy." And she greeted me. And she's always been that way. So those are also kind of moments that let you know that there are some great women in the industry. Not everyone is going to welcome you and greet you with open arms, but there are some people that are willing and keen, to do that.
Another thing I've always noticed is we start off as a big group in terms of the community around us. Like maybe in varsity, we know people on campus, a lot of the women around. Maybe when you're on campus radio versus SRC office or the cafeteria, wherever, we just always have that group of people we chill with.
100%.
And even in our friendship groups. But then that group or the number dwindles down. And then you find that you can trust one or two people
100%.
that are your community, like you had mentioned earlier in our first ep. So I don't think it's strange that happens. Do you think it's strange?
No, I don't think it's strange that happens. As you grow up, you realize that people change, they move on, and your values, your lives don't align anymore. And the same for you. I mean, I started off in a very big group of girls when I was in high school. When I got to grade 11, grade 12, I was in this very big group of girls. But then we all moved away. I wanted to come to Johannesburg because I wanted to pursue an acting and radio career. They wanted to pursue other careers. Most of them went to Bloemfontein, others went to Pretoria. But we lost touch, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. If I saw them today, I think we would still interact the way that we did back when we were in high school. But people fall off. You get, you have this big group of women, this big community behind you, and then, things just kind of whittle down, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's just a part of growing up.
Absolutely. Has there ever been a moment where you felt let down by a woman in your community?
So many times.
For real?
So many times. It happens a lot. Because when you trust a woman, like you were saying earlier on, you know that it's taken a long time for you to get to that point of trust. Women don't build relationships overnight the way that men do, right? Men, you say, sure, sharp fere, and then all of a sudden you best friends playing PlayStation on the couch. But with women, it takes a long time. And with that time, you build trust, you build respect for one another, you build, a very, very deep and powerful friendship that is no longer surface level. At some point, it gets even deeper than that. So when another woman in your community disappoints you, it hurts and it cuts really, really deep. And even then you're thinking to yourself, well, is there room for me to go back to fix the friendship, or should I just end it there? I've had 2 occasions where friends, and these are women, chose whichever man they were with over our friendship. There was one friend who was being verbally abused by the partner that she was with. And many, many times, she comes to my apartment and she's crying and no. And we keep having the conversation. I don't think this is a healthy relationship. I don't think you should be with this person. And one night she snapped at me and she said, you don't know anything about my relationship. You are always jealous of the fact that I have a man and a man that loves me. And no. You're always talking down on him, blah, 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 blah. That was the most disappointing moment because I care about you. That's the only reason why I'm saying this is not a healthy thing for you to be in. Get out. And you are taking that as jealousy. Very, very disappointing kind of situation to be in. Have you ever been disappointed by a woman?
But it wasn't a friendship. It was more of it was a girl that I went to high school with. So she was, I think, 3 years my senior. If I was in grade 8, she was in grade 11. And I've known her and I've admired her, but I never really hung out because our age group was very vast. We weren't like similar age groups. But I was like, she's a really dope girl, and she landed up making it on, TV. She was really, really well known. It's still well known right now. And I was like, oh, she's doing great.
Who is it? Tell us.
I'm not gonna tell you.
What's her name? Tell us.
Hey, that would not be on WomYnHood.
That's true. That's not on WomYnHood. That's true.
But the actions that she did made me realize, because you also think that in the space or industry we're in, we all respect each other in our specific job lines that we do.
And you don't have to like me, hey?
You don't have to like me.
But you do have to respect me.
Thank you very much. Now, I'm interviewing someone that she knows very well, because if I say who the someone is, then you
Then it's,
But I'm interviewing someone she knows very well, and she's on set just watching us because she came with them. And there was a line in this thing that I was discussing. Let's say the line was Bupilo, like how do you say all of life, or Bupilo botle, right? So ngumzulu, obviously I'm sounding it out with my accent, but Yena she'll carry on saying Bupelo botle. And I was like,
that is so cringe.
Dude, I look up to you. You've corrected me once. You know that I'm Zulu. I don't speak your language. Why do you keep on pushing this? And that really hurt my feelings. I had to go to the makeup room and actually Musa a bit, because that shit was hectic. It was like, sorry for swearing, but that's how it got me, because now all these years I've respected you, I've looked up to you, you're a great example. You're gonna come and just put me down in my first proper TV gig that I'm really enjoying and really excelling in, and you're gonna tell me I'm pronouncing something. And then she further went on to say, at least you speak proper English. I was like, what does that mean?
That's not on WomYnHood.
That's not on WomYnHood.
It's not on WomYnHood.
So for me, sometimes it doesn't even have to be your friends, but it's people that you've gained to respect in the industry.
Yeah.
And for her to say all these things to me was quite a shock.
Yeah.
At worst, because I went to high school with you. And you were so exemplary back then. What happened now? So that's my example.
That's one of the challenges that comes with trying to foster a community, right? Is that you've got different personalities. There are different kinds of women. There are women who were told that they are special their entire lives, and then in their adulthood they can say to Ayanda, you're not pronouncing it right, and do it over and over again and be disrespectful, because to them it's not disrespectful. She probably is sleeping well at night, not knowing that was very rude and disrespectful,
and it impacted me badly.
100%. And that's the difficulty with then trying to create friendships, new friendships especially. I'm finding it very difficult to now, because I've lost that community of women that I had, to now build a new community of women because I'm not very good at making friends, and I'm not very good. I don't even want to say I'm better at making friends with men because I'm not. I'm not good at making friends with anyone.
Period.
Because you never know the kind of personality that you are engaging with. You don't know whether they're going to accept you for who you are, or use you for tickets to live every year. You don't know whether they're going to want to get to know you and want to understand you, or, you know, whether it's something else. You don't know whether their intentions are pure or not. That's the difficulty with, you know, building a community now is, first of all, where do I even start? How do you go up to a woman and say, hey,
I have part of my community.
Friends. Do you want to be part of my community? You can't say that. It's weird. She's going to look at you like you're weird. And you also, again, it comes with age, right? You protect your peace. You get to a point where you're learning about yourself, who you are, the kind of woman that you want to be, and you're working towards that you then don't want to walk into a friendship or a relationship or a situationship where you have to pretend to be someone else, where you kind of have to play up to whatever friend you think, you know, this woman wants. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. And if there's anyone that wants to host an event where you make friends, especially female friends, that would be great. Please invite me.
Really?
I'm there, and I'll try to open up as much as I can.
Same. Who then is your community?
My community right now is my sister. My sister, my mother, my aunt, my grandmother. That's who my community is at the moment. I think I've gone back to basics because I was having a chat with my mom the other day, and she was talking about when I was a teenager and how I never wanted to listen, and I always wanted to go to the mall with my friends, and no. At that age, it's about impressing your friends. And even as you get older in varsity, you want to do things to impress your friends. So you are out at Bram, at Great Dane, having a good time, knowing when are you actually the kind of person that likes to study, and you have an assignment due tomorrow. So you start putting up this front. But I think I've gone back to basics in the sense that these are women who are like me, and so can understand me the best. My mother is the woman that birthed me. She's known me since the day that I was born. No one else will know me better than my own mother. So I've gone back to basics in the sense that I am reconnecting with my mother, with my sister, with my grandmother. I'm having more conversations with her to get that kind of, you know, knowledge that you wouldn't gain from a regular friend.
That's true.
Yeah.
I would call it, when it comes to my side with who is in my community, the micro community is what you had mentioned. So for me as well would be my mom, my cousin, my sister. My macro community is you, for example, Pindi, Hasina, because I think it's also a place where we share openly like what we go through and what our minds are going through, and for our managers to be so understanding and so, I'm getting your wavelength, don't worry, I'm with you here. That for me is a beautiful community because sometimes it's just like, I went through a situation and I even had I was scared to text Hasina on a Sunday, but I was like, I'm feeling this thing, man. It's not nice inside. And I texted her and she's like, let's have a talk about it. Come to my office tomorrow. I will open the schedule for you. That for me is,
and that's so rare, where women open up a space for other women to come and be vulnerable in, because you do find situations where, again, it's competition. We're competing with one another. No, I'm this and I'm that, and you can't. No. But then you've got women, like the kind of women that we work with, who will open up the space and say, let's have this conversation, and you feel comfortable reaching out to them on a Sunday night. Because you can. They've created an environment where it is okay for you to reach out whenever. If you're going through something and you need to have a conversation, let's do it. I mean, we've spoken on the phone about one thing. We'll start a conversation about one thing, and then you and I will go to something completely different. And then now we're talking for like 30 minutes on the phone about something else. And I think with our history and our past, we've been through a lot. I don't know if you want to talk about it. There was a time when Ayanda and I were not friends.
Woo, it was hectic.
We didn't like each other. Okay?
I wouldn't say that. I think that's how you saw it.
Yes.
I thought that I wasn't accepted by you.
I see.
I felt as though, oh man.
Oh, Ayanda. I'm sorry.
I didn't know it was going to come like this.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know I sprung it on us as well.
I felt as though, because I was coming back from a different space, and maybe I felt like I didn't belong because I didn't serve as much time as you had. So maybe I wasn't really accepted. So I felt like I needed to really prove myself towards you guys, especially when you were still doing lunch. And I'd like rally you guys and say you guys are doing amazing and stuff. And when that incident happened, I couldn't believe it. I was also quite touched, and also I felt like it was like a 2 versus 1, and if we had really spoken about it properly, because I didn't know that it had affected you in that way, and it really hurt me to had gone through this, because I felt like we really could have settled it better, but we both chose our egos. Well, I know I did, because now I was also like fighting for myself in this space, and I was just like, all of this happening in the same time I'm coming back was a bit weird for me. And after a while, I didn't even know how to reach out and say, I really want to talk about it and sort it out, because it didn't sit right with me, because we had never had a problem before, and I didn't want it to be something that was going to carry on, because it just weighs heavily.
It does, yeah.
It's not something that you enjoy. I didn't enjoy that time we weren't speaking. It was so uncomfortable for me, and it really hurt, but I didn't know how to go about it, because I'm not confrontational. I don't know how to do this thing. Yeah. I'm just like, yo, Nia, I think we need to talk about the situation we're in. But I'm so grateful that we found the opportunity to reach out to each other and actually speak about it, because I was like, yo, man, we started this back then. And to see each other in our positions now, from weekend DJs to where we are right now, is like, it's amazing. It's beautiful. And every time we have our FaceTime chats, I always feel like I want to keep apologizing for that moment, because it was so tough for me, because I was like, I didn't want to be mean to someone else, and it wasn't nice being mean to you. I didn't enjoy it at all. But yeah, that happened.
Yeah, it did. We were mean to each other. You know, we had a bit of a spat. I think that's bound to happen when you've got two, strong, incredibly talented women kind of walking in the same space. And I was kind of going through a difficult time at that time as well, because you were always, one of the female presenters that I looked up to. When I mentioned the Bonangs and the Janelle Ranakas, I mentioned your name in the same breath. And I don't know if you remember this, but there was one conversation that we had, and that was one moment when I looked at you and I was like, oh my God, this girl is so fucking awesome. Sorry. This girl is so awesome. But it was back when we were in the old building at Y, before you moved spaces. And you had just started your weight loss and fitness journey. You were just getting into it, and you were holding this bottle that had like protein shake in it. And I came up to you and I was like, Ayanda, like, what's going on? You're drinking this thing all the time, and you were talking about how, you're going through this transformation and you're doing this, that, and the other. And I just remember thinking to myself, this is so brave of her to do this. And as you grew, your DJing career grew, you're presenting, you're doing this. I remember just looking from the outside in going, oh my God, she did it. Like, all the stuff she said she was going to do, she did it. And that has inspired me in so many ways to pursue all of the things that I'm afraid to do. So when we got into that little spat, it was difficult for me as well. I looked up to you. I admire you so, so much. You have no idea. And it was difficult that in moments where I'm having a difficult time and I don't know how to navigate a certain situation, I felt like you would be the perfect person to speak to, because you've been through something like that before. But I couldn't do that at the time. I also was very disappointed in the both of us. As two women who are, taking on these very, very huge positions in the station, to first 2 months get into a spat, because that's what people expect us to do. That's what everyone wants us to do. Women fight, women don't know how to get along, and we satisfied them in that sense. But thank you once again to our community. We were eventually able to sit down and air it out and hash it out and take accountability for the moments in which we made each other feel bad and feel terrible, and apologize to one another. And we've had a budding friendship ever since. And now we adore each other. We can't get enough of each other.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm so sorry that I made you feel that way. And I made you cry, and I'm glad that we're good now.
Same here. I'm so happy, because it's It's the last thing. And you are so brilliant at what you do.
Thank you.
That time when you were FaceTiming me, asking me random questions about something you did not want to disclose. I was just like, this girl is grinding. She's so busy.
Yeah.
I admire you so much because you are so strict with what you do for yourself and how you elevate in what you do. And also you want to make sure that you improve your life for yourself. Like when you decided to do your boobs, I was like, yo, this girl is on a mission. And I respect you for being brave for that, because a lot of the times people are always so scared of what could happen or but you were also looking at your health, and that was also something that I'm very big on. Like guys, we're at this age where we can't afford to just jump or gym or train however we want to, and we need to look out for ourselves, because we're going to be the ones with babies in our 40s. Like that's what it looks like right now, and
at this stage.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that we're looking at each other in that way, and also we care for each other in that way
100%.
as well. And I feel so comfortable talking to you.
Yeah,
like she's like, you're the best friend I've always waited for, that I never had, because also we share similar traits, but we also have our own opinions on different things, which I love so much. So I'm very grateful for you, and I'm grateful for you. We moved past this, and apologies for the waterworks.
Sorry,
we cried.
Lesson is talk it out, because you'll actually realize that the beef you've got with that girl is so silly and so stupid, and you both don't even realize
how much you appreciate
each other and how much you admire each other, and that's probably why you were so hurt.
And
I'm done.
I say thank you so much for watching and catching up with us. Be sure to tune in once again on our shows, because you catch us on Radio Earth Day, man. Whether you feel like you're a morning person or an afternoon person, you got options. Yo. My name's Ayanda MVP.
My name is Nia Brown.
And that is #OnWomynHood.